بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين.
Interpretation of the Holy Quran.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. With the help of Allah, we begin a brief commentary of Quran. We reach to chapter Nisa, the fourth chapter of Quran, which is revealed in Medina. It has 176 verses. Please listen to verse 135.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين بالقسط شهداء لله ولو على أنفسكم أو الوالدين والأقربين إن يكن غنيا أو فقيرا فالله أولى بهما فلا تتبعوا الهوى أن تعدلوا وإن تلوا أو تعرضوا فإن الله كان بما تعملون خبيرا.
O you who believe, be maintainers of justice, bearers of witness of Allah's sake, though it may be against your own selves, or your parents or near relatives. If he be rich or poor, Allah is nearer to them both in compassion. Therefore, do not follow your low desires, lest you deviate, and if you swerve or turn aside, then surely Allah is aware of what you do. We said that Allah orders us in this verse to maintain the justice when we deal with each other, when we have a business, when we want to testify, when we bear witness, to tell the truth. In this world, it is easy to lie. But in Resurrection Day, we have nobody to defend us. In Resurrection Day, everything is obvious. To be saved in such a day that there is nobody to help us except our deeds is better to tell the truth in this world. And Allah says, وَلَوْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِكُمْ. Tell the truth even if it is against yourself. The most important time that we have reason to lie, it is the time that if we tell the truth, it is against ourselves. Allah says, even if it is against yourself, tell the truth. Acknowledge against yourself. One of the chapters in Islamic studies is the chapter of iqrar and acknowledgement. When a person is acknowledging against himself, whatever he acknowledges is accepted. Why? Because almost nobody lies against himself. Everybody loves himself so much. And when he acknowledges something against himself, we should accept it. إقرار العقلاء على أنفسهم جائز. The intellect people have right to acknowledge against themselves, and when they acknowledge, we must accept it. And Allah says, you are the most important person for yourself, even if it is necessary to talk against yourself. When it is true, tell the truth. In long term, you are going to gain. In short time, maybe you lose something, but in long term, in the society, that members of that society lie easily, All the people have problem because nobody trusts other people. Nobody trusts others. Regardless that other people are their brothers, their sisters, their parents, nobody trusts. Imagine in such a society one person is seriously sick. A member of the family will pass away and needs help. Other people will not trust him when he says, I'm going to return the money after 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, because nobody trusts each other. Imagine one person is in severe problem and he needs some money. Nobody is ready to help him. Not only money, any help, because nobody trusts each other. Allah says, وَلَوْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِكُمْ, even if it is against yourself, bearer of witness of Allah's sake. Allah says, وَلَوْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَوِ الْوَالِدَيْنِ وَالْأَغْرَبِينَ. Allah says, though it may be against your own selves or parents or near relatives. Allah wants to say that the most important things that you must keep in your mind is to tell the truth and ignore that this person is members of the family, even your father or your mother, or even yourself. If it is true, tell the truth. Don't lie, even if your father will get benefit out of that, or your mother. Allah wants to say that all the people in the society should follow the truth and law, and nobody has the right to lie. We may ask that such a question that, okay, but sometimes the members of the family or parents will lose a lot. What about in such a circumstances? Allah wants to say that in a long term, it is good for all of you to tell the truth. For a short time, you may lose something, but in long term, definitely it is good for all. So Allah will see what is good for all in a long term, not in a short term. When you want to help your child, you will try to encourage him or put a pressure on his shoulder to study. The study or knowledge is not good for short time, it's good for long term. You give the medicine for a long term. You try to raise your children properly for a long term. Allah is teaching us to tell the truth, and it is good for all the members of the family for a long term. Then Allah said, إِن يَكُنْ غَنِيًّا أَوْ فَقِيرًا فَاللَّهُ أَوْلَى بِهِمَا. The person that you want to bear witness for him or against him, either he is poor or rich, Allah says it doesn't make a difference. Only you must tell the truth, and you should not have the excuse that because he is rich or because he is poor to tell the truth or lie. Not because, even when you tell the truth, you should not tell the truth because he is rich or because he is poor. This is wrong. We must tell the truth because it is true. Because lying is bad. Because of that, Allah says, إِن يَكُنْ غَنِيًّا أَوْ فَقِيرًا. If he is rich or poor, you should not think that this is good for him. فَاللَّهُ أَوْلَى بِهِمَا. Allah is closer to them. If Allah wants to help them, let Allah will help. Is not my business and it is not yours. So Allah is nearer to them both in compassion. فَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا الْهَوَىٰ أَن تَعْدِلُوا. Allah says, therefore do not follow your desires, low desires, lest you deviate. Allah wants to warn us that if you follow your desires, be sure that you will be misled. We have desires, and desires should be controlled. the desires should not be destroyed, but should be controlled. We have desires to have a good position. We have desires, sexual desires. We have desires to have a good position. All of us, we should control it, and any of them that Allah allows to fulfill them, any of them which we should not satisfy it, we should not satisfy, or in any way we are allowed, we can satisfy it in such a way. Otherwise, we must not follow our desires. وَإِن تَلْوُوا أَوْ تُعْرِضُوا فإن الله بما تعملون كان بما تعملون خبيرا. Allah says that if you swerve or turn aside, it means you will not follow the truth and turn your face and do something else. If you lie, if you deceive, be sure that Allah knows everything and Allah is watching you. In many verses, Allah is emphasizing that He is watching, He sees everything, He hears everything, only to warn us that be careful, somebody is watching you. If we remember that, definitely we deal with ourselves and others much better. Thank you very much for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.